Hi, I'm back. I had to do some thinking, do a little bit of research, and also had to change shirts. It was warmer than I thought when I first started. Um, One of the things I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and take out the striker and see if it's affecting the way the door is closing. And if you look at it, it's not an Allen head. It's called a Torx fastener. And you'll need one of these, if I can get it to focus. Anyway, it's the star-shaped. Wow, this thing has worse eyesight than I do. Alright, you can kind of see the Torx shape. And I went ahead and bought a complete set. You use them more than you think. I think the seatbelt bolts are also held in by these. But I'm going to go ahead and remove this one-handed. Hopefully not regret this. As you can see, there's a lot of adjustment once it's loosened up. I think it's held in back by a cage bolt. Sorry for the focus. I'm not used to doing things one-handed like this. Hopefully as the channel goes on, I'll get better at it. Maybe not. And you'll notice that it has shims in back also that we may or may not need. And that has a, looks like a cage bolt in back. So anyway, put that there for safekeeping so I can lose it. And doesn't look, yeah, it did. It affected the way the door fits. Now, that's about where it, again, sorry for the bad camera work. That's why I usually have it on a stand. What it did is it brought the top down a little bit, and that's actually pretty close to what I want. And it looks like the door is still high on this side. And it looks like it's pretty close down here, but I still do not like that gap at all. So what we're going to do is get the door adjusted without the striker and see if we can get the body panels to line up. And still not sure what I'm going to do about that gap. Anyway, let's get this back in the stand. Okay. Again, like I said before, that's not bad. It's actually better than it was. But we're still out here. And remember I showed the door before where the hinge meets the body. It's got shims. I'm wondering what will happen if I take those off. Not sure it'll have all that much effect, but what the hey, let's give it a try. Oh, that one's loose. I wonder what will happen if I tighten it then. I should probably check the other ones. Wow, 4 of the 8 were actually finger tight. Didn't seem to make a whole lot of difference. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the striker though, and see if I can get the door at least level on the top without causing too much trouble. And now I just need to locate my... There. Just for chuckles, I'm going to go ahead and take out one shim. Let's see what that does. Can always put it back in. I'm going to grease that up a little bit. You always want to think of the next guy, because chances are you're going to be the next guy. Okay. Let's go ahead and put that back in. The reason you put grease on it is you definitely don't want these two pieces rusting together, because then the cage bolt or the cage nut can sometimes work its way loose and break loose from the cage, is what I'm trying to say. And when that happens, usually you have to cut into the body, so you want to avoid that if you can. And I'm going by the mark that was there, and I'm going just a little bit below it, if it'll let me. Just snug it up, because chances are you're going to have to adjust some more. And I don't think it liked that. Don't think it liked that at all. Now it's way out. Okay. I think I know what I did. And I need to put the other shim back in, because looking at it, it's not going into the middle of where the striker is. Find it from all the tail lights I have here. It's a fine place to have tail lights. Anyway. in, and I'll try to take the camera and show you what I'm talking about. Let's try that. Don't be afraid to try different settings. I'll show you here in a minute what I did. Okay, one of the things that you want to use when you're adjusting things like this is the old marks. You can see that I've moved it in, and also I didn't quite go so far down as I did before because I wasn't really latching right. And I'll show you what I mean here, hopefully in just a minute. Still not closing very well. There's the last latch. Still out. And if you can see, the latch isn't completely over. Now it is. Okay. And you can see how the striker is not quite in the middle of the latch. It's a little hard to tell. It almost acts like it needs another shim, but there is clearance. What you don't want it doing is having the latch hit the large part of the bolt. You want it more in the middle, which, if anything, this thing needs to, I think the striker needs to come out just a little bit more. Still way out. And you can see it a little bit more this way. You don't want the door edge out. And I'm going to quit the video right here. I need to do a little more research. I don't want to lead anybody astray. And I might try some stuff off camera because I'm sure you're bored stiff